The day after the shocking revelation, the atmosphere inside Bright Tech Solutions was different. Whispers filled the hallways. "Did you know? I can't believe he was the janitor. Wait, does that mean he heard what we said?" For many employees, fear began to replace frustration. Some worried they had gone too far with their complaints. Others feared retaliation. But Mark Reynolds had something very different in mind. Instead of punishment, he launched something no one expected: a Truth Week. For 5 straight days, employees were invited to anonymously submit their biggest concerns, boldest ideas, and even criticisms about leadership. No filters, no consequences, and the responses poured in. Some were small. "We need better communication between departments." Others were brutally honest. "Upper management feels disconnected and unapproachable." But one message stood out. It read, "The problem isn't just burnout, it's favoritism. Promotions aren't based on performance, they're based on who you know." Mark froze when he read it. Favoritism? That wasn't something he had ever tolerated, at least not intentionally. Determined to uncover the truth, he quietly began reviewing recent promotions and internal transfers. What he discovered unsettled him. One senior executive, Daniel Harper, had quietly promoted close friends and overlooked highly qualified employees. Performance reports had been manipulated. Complaints had been quietly dismissed. And worse, HR had received multiple warnings. Mark realized something painful. While he was focused on growth, someone inside his leadership circle had been quietly damaging the company's culture. The next board meeting was tense. Mark presented the evidence. Some board members hesitated. Daniel had been with the company for years, but Mark was firm. "If we ignore this," he said, "we're telling every employee that integrity doesn't matter." Within 48 hours, Daniel was removed from his position pending investigation. The announcement shocked the entire company. For the first time, employees saw something they hadn't expected: accountability at the top. But the real turning point came days later. Mark held an open forum, not in the executive conference room, but in the company cafeteria. No stage, no spotlight, just chairs arranged in a circle. "I made mistakes," he admitted openly. "I trusted reports instead of people. That ends now." One by one, employees began speaking, hesitant at first, then boldly. A junior developer shared an idea that could streamline product testing by 30%. A customer service rep suggested a new feedback system to improve client retention. An intern proposed a mentorship program connecting executives with entry-level staff. Instead of dismissing them, Mark listened and took notes. Within 3 months, Bright Tech launched 3 employee-driven initiatives. Profits didn't just recover, they exceeded projections. But more importantly, something else changed. Employees felt valued, heard, respected. And the intern who once struggled with the printer, she became the face of the new mentorship program. Months later, during an interview with a major business magazine, Mark was asked what caused the dramatic turnaround. He didn't mention strategy. He didn't mention restructuring. He simply said, "I stopped leading from the top and started listening from the bottom." The story of Bright Tech spread nationwide. Other companies began adopting similar undercover leadership programs. But for Mark, the biggest lesson wasn't about business. It was about humility, because sometimes the truth that changes everything isn't hidden in spreadsheets or boardrooms. It's whispered in break rooms when no one thinks the CEO is listening.